Hello everybody, this is Drew here. Today I figured I would try to build what a lot of people are referring to as a Riddim bass. I'm in Logic Pro as usual, and I'm going to be working in Serum, also somewhat as usual. This will be another Serum fundamental. So not much music theory wise going on here. I'm in one of my favorite keys, D minor, and I'm basically going D, B flat, which would be referred to as the minor sixth in that key, to the 5. D, B flat, 5, D, D, B flat, A, D. Not a singer. That with just the default Alchemy instrument sounds like this. All right. Now, on a side note, before I dive into how to do this in Serum, for those of you that don't have Serum, you can build a lot of really cool wobbles in Alchemy. It's a great synth. Comes with default Logic. Just one of the tools that is a great way to wrap your brain around some synth design. So if you go, this is the basic user default that will open up. I haven't changed the synth at all. If you click Advanced, you'll notice this modulation menu. These are pre-routed modulations that are somewhat common to use. So we're going to talk more about the LFO today, but just to show you, if I click on my LFO parameter, I change my sync to eighth note triplets. All right, and then I'm going to modulate this depth or automate. We can get a cool wobble. Sounds like this. Pretty cool. It gets especially crazy when we start working our sequencer in. We can edit our sequencer over here. You can click somewhat randomly, or you can do a rhythm. This is a 16th note groove, and this is going to change essentially the value of whatever we're playing. So check it out. Pretty cool. I urge you, or I encourage you to mess around with that. If all you have is Logic and you want to make some cool future bass or some Riddim, whatever you want to call it, make a new genre, make it the next big thing. Just be sure to thank your homie Drew for giving you the idea. All right. So now I'm going to go into Serum, and I'd already built this bass from an initial preset, but I'm going to go back and redo it. All right, so initial preset. This is not going to sound very good from the get-go, but this is a Riddim bass in as quickly as possible. So I'm going to first go from one of these growl tables. Destroy sounds cool. Hear that. Perhaps down an octave. Cool. Let's add another oscillator. Let's choose another growl table. It's getting pretty hectic and noisy. Let's add our sub in there. A little noise. Cool. So the first step with any of the sort of Riddim stuff is to create a sound that is very thick, full of really cool harmonics, and then we're basically going to rhythmically modulate some of these parameters to make the bass talk a little bit, and it's all about that steady rhythm. So first of all, I'm going to tie my LFO perhaps to my wet positions, just to give us some movement. Let's put this on, how about a triplet, eighth note triplets. already sounding pretty crazy. If we modulate the levels, I did this in my last Flutter synth. We're using the same sort of principle. Basically, creating a wobble. All right, now, none of these growls are complete without some filtering. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna use our filter on oscillator A and our noise. What this is gonna do is give us some cool movement in the actual sound, some talking. Let's try that. Cool. Let's add some distortion in. All right, so now we're gonna make that sound have a little bit more movement. We're gonna take a separate LFO, start to modulate our actual flanger. And what I'm gonna do is a little bit of an inverse method here. So as the flanger gets crazier, we're gonna get less of it. That should kind of balance out the sound. Let's hear that. Cool. It's coming together. Add a tiny bit of chorus in here. All right, cool. So if you're happy with your Riddim or your wobble bass patch, always make sure you save your presets in your user folder. I'll just call this Riddim demo. That way you can recall the various presets that you built in your user folder. All right, cool. Well, feel free to email me any questions. Hopefully this was helpful, understanding how to do a Riddim or wobble bass sound with your default synthesizer in Logic, Alchemy, and then also building that kind of sound from scratch within Serum. Happy producing. As always, I'd love to hear your music. Shoot me some tracks you've made using these ideas we're working on. I'll perhaps repost some on my various channels, and if you'd like, be sure to check out either my music theory text or my SoundCloud with my whole portfolio of bass music. Been doing a lot more uplifting future bass in the last year or so. Earlier on, I was doing a lot of darker music, and I'm feeling like returning to some dark vibes after making this sound. All right, everybody, happy producing. Till later.